What is up, Pirate Nation? Arrow Pirate here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO Star Wars Set 75334 Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader. Now, this is 408 pieces, includes 4 minifigures, and usually retails in the United States for $50, which is why I was kind of hesitant on buying this. But then one day I went to my local Costco, and I actually found this was only for $40 there. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll get it, because why not? And I also recommend you check out your local Costco because I think I got a good deal on this, and a lot of the other sets were very cheap as well. So, yeah, like the one Harry Potter set, Dumbledore's Office, that retailed, instead of $80, retailed for only $63, which I know is weird, but at least it's cheaper, so I would recommend checking out your local Costco if you have one. Anyways, on the back of the box, we have Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, and we got some play features that we'll get to in a moment, but first let's look at the minifigures. Alright, so the first minifigure is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think they did him pretty good for the version of the show that he was in. I think this hairpiece would have been great if they used it for him in Attack of the Clones as well. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being biased. I mean, I don't know. I forget what hairpiece that they call it because I don't know the names of all the hairpieces LEGO has. But the one that they had for the Bruce Wayne minifigure from both LEGO Batman movie and the 2022 Batman, I think that that hairpiece, but in this orange color, would be great for Obi-Wan, just in this show. And then this hairpiece that they gave him would be great for the Attack of the Clones version. Anyways, he has his scrunched up Jedi robes, and you can see they're sort of dirtied. He obviously has his lightsaber, and the facial expression, I think, is new. And on the back, he has another facial expression where he looks a lot calmer. And not a lot of printing on the back. But yeah, next minifigure. So the next minifigure is easily Star Wars' best villain, and that is Darth Vader. Now, this is my first official Darth Vader minifigure from the modern times. I mean, I have the Darth Vader that I showed off that was in the watch, but that was one of the older models. And the only version that I have of the new Vader helmet is with the Winter Vader, where he was wearing this jacket, or the ugly Christmas sweater, jeez. And yeah, this is my first version with the actual printing, so you can see he's got, like, this printing is very good, and the arms actually have printing, which is something I'm always a fan of with LEGO minifigures. The helmet I've always thought is really cool how it's two pieces, but we'll get to that in a second. And then on the back, there's a little bit of printing on the back, but nothing really extreme, just like a little continuation of the silver and some robe lines. But anyways, if you take off the top piece of the helmet, you can see that he looks very scarred and burned. And it's a different face as well from the version that we got in the Winter Vader set. I mean, in the Advent calendar. And on the back, there's no alternate oh my god. There's no alternate face. And, but you can see, like, all the burn scars, which I think is really cool. Anyways, putting Vader's helmet back on, let's move on to the next minifigure. And here is Tala, and honestly, this minifigure, in my opinion, is probably the weakest of the set. I mean, sure, she is exclusive, but Vader is also a harder to get minifigure, and Tala's just wearing some Imperial clothes. It's her disguise, if you haven't seen the show. Plus, Tala, I just haven't really been able to respect as a character, because it feels like her death scene in Episode 5 was kind of silly, with all the shaking cam, and I just really couldn't be upset about her death. But, yeah, the Imperial robes, it only is, like, on one side, and then on the, I mean, it's only on the torso itself, and the hat doesn't really have anything special on it, it's just one line. And then her face is a new face print, but, or maybe it's not, I don't know, it's hard to tell nowadays with all the sets they've been releasing, but I don't know, it's just not one of my favorite minifigures. I think it could have been better. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no real other printing on the arms or the legs in the show. but I don't know. This minifigure just feels like another Imperial officer. And our final minifigure is Ned B, which I think this is a very, very cool minifigure. Probably my favorite of the set other than Vader. But, I really like this minifigure, how they sort of do the same thing they do with Chewbacca and Uncard Plutt, and how it's just like one big hulking piece. And there's also a couple bricks that come off, which I think is supposed to be like a power generator or something. You can see all the detail on there. And under it, it's just a black torso with a blue arm and a yellow arm. And then the legs are really cool as well. But yeah, I just really like this minifigure. I'm not quite sure what his weapon is, because I don't think I saw him using it in the show. I think I saw him using a blaster with everyone else. But who knows, maybe it's like some sort of hammer. So if you want to make a little arena like this one, then you can just use this as a weapon. Or if you're just going to do like a Thor Ragnarok thing, and you're going to like make a weapons rack, you can use this as one of the weapons. But yeah, it just doesn't... I just don't remember this being a weapon he used. Or maybe it's some sort of tool. I don't know. Anyways, on to the set itself. So here's the Battleground itself, and since it's kind of low, I had to get another little piece and put it on top of here. As you can see, I just had to use this 2x4 gray piece just to get the stand to stay up so that you could actually focus on this. Anyways, it's a pretty standard Battleground, but it does have some other things. Let me just take this off real quick. So, right here, we got these spinning racks where you can put Obi-Wan and Vader so they can duel, or you can do any other characters if you want. But, yeah, there's also this little, antenna piece right here, and then this thing, which I think is just supposed to be, like, some sort of fire generator or something. I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to be. And then, right up here, you've also got, oh, hold on, let me just, well, I guess we'll get to that in a second. You got this little, feature where Tala can just stand there and shoot the, stormtroopers if you have any to put on there. Anyways, we'll put this back in, and I'm just gonna put this up so you can see this, and if you turn it around, you can actually pull this up. Let me just try and fix it. Hold on, so, actually no, you pull this back, and you can have the fire pop out, like how Vader did. Or, if you don't want that to be the case, you can just push this down, pull it back in, and then just push this forward, and you can have it back to normal. But, yeah, let's put a couple of main features on here so they can duel. So here's the play feature with Obi-Wan and Vader, and you can just, like, have them duel, and, of course, Vader knocks Obi-Wan over. But, you can actually do the same thing with Obi-Wan if you just switch his lightsaber up like this, and then grab this, and then you can just go, like, oh, I guess not, Vader will always reign supreme. Yeah, I've been having this issue with the Obi-Wan minifigure as I've been doing this. He just doesn't seem to stay on the base as well as he should be. Or maybe it's because this one also feels a little looser, so I think maybe it's just destined that Obi-Wan will lose. In fact, let's do a little experiment. We're going to switch spots between Vader and Obi-Wan. Put their lightsabers back in the positions they were originally, just to see if it'll help. So, yeah, bring Vader's down a little bit. And let's go. Oh. Okay. And once more. Yeah, I guess Vader will always reign supreme over Obi-Wan. Who knows? Maybe my Obi-Wan minifigure is just broken. Who knows? We'll figure that out later. And then there's one more thing you can do, which is you can put Vader a little bit backwards, and you can have Obi-Wan down like this. And if we bring back that little cart from earlier, you can actually have it so that the cart flips upwards. Okay, let me try that again. And the fire can come flying out, and one of them just went off the table. But, yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the instructions, and I'll give my final opinion. So the instructions are definitely interesting, how it's just a plain white background, and then the set itself. I think it's just, like, LEGO's trying to go for, like, a more online sort of thing, but they do have that thing that I showed with the Buzz Lightyear set, how Obi-Wan's right here, and then as you flip pages, he sort of gets closer and closer to the end, which I think is something cool for kids to see. But, yeah, that's a little fun. Or it's fun for me, at least. And then, if you go back a little bit, you can also see all the other sets that have been released. So, we've got, Obi-Wan Starfighter, we've got the Inquisitor shuttle, we've got the Justifier, we've got the Ewok thing, we got BD-1, the new set, which, I'm sorry, I forget a lot of my Star Wars vehicles, and then the new set from Andor, which, I just started watching last night, but if you guys can hear my voice, I'm kind of sick, so I didn't want to watch all of it just so I didn't miss every little detail. And then we got all three of the, well, two of the Obi-Wan sets and then one set featuring Obi-Wan, so that's probably why they did that. Anyways, now for my final opinion. So, yeah, I think this set was good for $40. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but, because, you know, like I said, I'm sick and I'm not really here at the moment. But if I didn't say it already, if this set wasn't $40, if I saw it at Costco, I probably wouldn't even get it, because although the minifigures are cool, like Ned, and this would be my first actual Vader, the Obi-Wan figure, or the Obi-Wan minifigure, I like the one more in the Sith Inquisitor scythe or whatever. And Tala, like I said before, just looks like a random Imperial officer. Plus, the Battleground, it doesn't really have that many play features that would be, like, that noticeable for $50. Especially when you only have, like, at least 3, which is the flipping of the cart and then, Obi-Wan and Vader, which some people might even just count that as 2, because that's just, the 2 of these are just 1, and then this is the other. And it just feels like, I mean, there is also the play feature of the fire, like, you know, that. But, I don't know, I'm just saying, if this set wasn't $50, I probably wouldn't have bought, I mean, if this set wasn't $40, I probably wouldn't have bought it, so, yeah, it's a good thing I got it for 40 instead of 50. But even then, I'm just gonna do this from the idea that I got this for $50, which is the fact that this just doesn't really feel like a $50 set to me. So even though a couple of the minifigures are cool, and I like some of the play features, it just doesn't feel like this is worth $50. But, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little too negative. Anyways, that was it for this video, guys. Remember to smash the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, type in the comments what you want. Go subscribe to my boys, Tyler and DMJ100. Tyler's just made his return to YouTube, so go check him out. I'll be doing a collab with 3 of my friends, probably in the winter around my birthday. I think that's when we figured out we'll do it. But either way, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't know you, but I'll see you guys there. Peace out, Pirate Nation. Woo! Yeah, you can tell I'm sick. I couldn't even do my woo! Yeah, I can't do it. Bye, everybody.